This is lesson 11 of hands-on equations. So far, the other day, you learned that x plus star equals 0. And that if x is 5, and then star would be negative 5. Or if I said x was $10, and then star would be a loss of $10. Or if star was 7, and then x would be negative 7. Well, what happens when, and we learned that you can take a 0 away from a side as a legal move. But what happens when we have an equation like this? The equation is 2x equals star plus 6. When I look at my equation, I don't have a 0 over here, and I don't have a 0 over here. And I don't have a blue pawn on both sides that I can take away. And I don't have a white pawn on both sides, or a star on both sides that I can take away. So with the same concept before that we talked about the new legal move, you can take away a 0 without changing the value of what is on that side of the balance. With that same idea, I could also add a 0, because 0 does not change the value of anything. So to add a 0, I'm going to do it on this side, and I need both an x and a star. So there's my 0, because I know that star plus x is going to be 0. I have not changed the value. But now I do have a legal move that I can do to help me solve this and to isolate this 6 number cube on the right hand side. I can take away a star from both sides. When I take away a star, now I'm left with 3x equals 6. And I can ask myself, well, 6 divided by 3 is 2. So x equals 2. I'm going to write that down. If x equals 2, then star must be the opposite, so it must be negative 2. Now I'm going to put the equation back the way it originally was. So I have to take away the 0 that I added. Now I'm going to plug in my numbers. So 2 times 2, because x is 2, equals star negative 2 plus 6. And I can solve. 2 times 2 is 4. And negative 2 plus 6 would be 4. If you're having trouble understanding that a negative 2 plus a 6, think of it on a number line. We're here at 0, negative 1, negative 2. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. That's supposed to be a 3, 4, and 5. So if we start at negative 2 and we add 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you get 4. Or if it helps you to think about it in reverse, 6 plus a negative 2, going in reverse, starting at 6 and adding a negative 2, 1, 2, would land you at 4 as well. And yes, 4 equals 4. So now you try solving your own equation when you have to add a 0 to one side of the balance in order to solve. So try 3x equals star plus 4. So take a moment, build that on your scale, and solve it by using your new legal move of adding a 0 to one side of your balance. Okay, when I solve this using my legal moves, 3x equals star plus 4, I found that x equals 1 and star equals negative 1. I got that by doing the following. I'm going to show you how I solve this. I have no legal moves that I can make over here. I don't have a 0 I can take away. I don't have a 0 I can take away. And I certainly cannot take an X and a star away from both sides, because they're not even equal to each other. So I have to add a 0. I've added my 0. And now I do have a legal move. I can take away a star from both sides. And I'm left with 4x equals 4. Well, each x must then equal 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 4. Add my pieces back, take away my 0, so I'm back to my original. If x is 1, star must be negative 1. I plug it into my equation to make sure I'm right. 3 times 1 equals negative 1 plus 4. 3 times 1 is 3, and negative 1 plus 4 is 3. Again, if you're having trouble thinking about adding to a negative number, think of it on your number line, starting at negative 1 and adding 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you end up at 3. Okay? Try another equation. It's 3x equals 2 star plus 15. Okay, this equation was a little bit different. We have 3x equals 2 star plus 15. We have to add our zeros to be able to use our legal moves. But this one, by adding only 1 0, then I'm only able to take away one of the stars. I can add another 0. Were you able to figure that out? So now I can take away the other star. And I'm left with 5x equals 15. Well, 15 divided by 5 is 3. So I'm going to put all my pieces back. I'm going to take away my 2 zeros. If x is 3, then star must be negative 3. Plug it into my equation. 3 times 3 equals 2 times negative 3 plus 15. 3 times 3 is 9. Now here's something you may not have learned yet. Multiplying with negative numbers. When you multiply a positive by a negative, your product is always negative. So 2 times negative 3 is going to be negative 6. So you get negative 6 plus 15. Well, negative 6 plus 15 is 9, and yes, 9 equals 9. So you can add as many zeros as you need to in order to take away stars or x's from one side of your balance, because 0 is not going to change the value of your equation. So if you understand this, go ahead and work on the problems from lesson 11. If you need to review this lesson, make sure you listen to it again, or you can come in and ask me any questions.